Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today? Really excited to see you all in the hall and back to the room. I was worried. So, very honored to be invited for this first conference in Danang. And actually, I was in Danang 3 months ago to visit the project. And also, I love this lovely city and destination. And so for the people who probably don't know about EHL or not very familiar with EHL, I'd like to show you a short video for about 1.5 minutes. It's one of the latest video that we shoot for EHL as an introduction so that you can familiarize with what is EHL, what we do the best, and why we are here. Okay, thank you. I need a voice.
One look can speak infinite words. One smile can open locked doors. One word of welcome can build bridges. One gesture can create a masterpiece.
Attention. So EHL, in short, is the first hospitality school in the world. We are 131 years old. And me, I'm from EHL, the latest, the newest campus, which is from Singapore. 3 years old baby. Okay? And so, but we have the heritage and the wisdom of 131 years old hospitality education as a heritage we bring to Asia. Okay? And the topic today is, of course, the future of hospitality education and training. I want to start my sharing with more overall picture of how do we look at the next 10 years in hospitality and tourism industry. So this forecast is from World Economic Forum. By 2033, which is in 10 years from now, there will be another more than 100 million new jobs offering globally for hospitality and tourism. Okay? This figure actually has a strong and profound implication of a shift across quality education, society, sustainability, technology. It actually has a lot of implication. And for us, the professionals here, the educators, what we can do together. So there's a big question mark in everyone's mind, you know. And now, since I'm in Vietnam, I keep hearing from my friends, my industry partners talking about Vietnam hospitality is booming, tourism is booming, but we need people, we need qualified workforce. And that's actually why I'm here. You know, we need to discuss and try to find a solution together. But this is already today that we are struggling with, finding qualified workforce. How about in 10 years? Worldwide, there will be another 100 million, new jobs for this industry. And I also read another statistic from RMIT that they did some study for Vietnam market. It shows by next year, 2025, in accommodation industry only, not including F&B, they need to have 800,000, new jobs for this industry in Vietnam. Okay, so we're actually not in a super comfort zone of running a hotel with abundant resources, right? So together, with this such a great event, we can discuss about hospitality education in general. And this slide actually is conducted by a survey from World Economic Forum. And this survey, they conduct every year. Maybe I was blocking your cameras. And they conduct every year, right? And what is actually interesting for us to observe is, if we look back 10 years ago or 15 years ago, for the same survey result, there is a significant shift in terms of the focus of the skill set by the employers. And this survey is not limited to only hospitality and tourism industry, but to across industries. But it's a good indicator for us. Okay? And we observed there is a trend in the past 10 years, 15 years. There are more focus on the soft skills. The soft skills such as, number 8, empathy, such as flexibility, such as self-awareness. 10, 15 years ago, they are not in the list. Why is that? The main driving force of this change is, of course, because of technological advancement, because of automation. And it does not stop. Only last 2 years, the AI become a huge topic. And if we want to look at education, we are thinking about the future, right? Because we need to educate, we need to train the talents that can fit for the future. So we want to analyze what has been happening in the past 10, 15 years, and we want to find out a trend and how we can cater the trend, meet the industry requirement. So talking about skill set, the ideal set I just showed to you, which was the latest survey from last year. And for the next decade, what will be the skills that expected from industry? And even from now, we have identified some skills gap. For this slide and next slide, actually, they are all the skills gap. This slide is more focusing on the manager position leaderships. Okay? For instance, the digital literacy and technological skills for our industry. What does it mean? Very simply, I can put example like data analytics. Okay? But many people from hotel background or tourism background, it's okay, data is too dry, is nothing to do with me. I have my IT team working on the data. It's not true anymore, right? As a business leader, as a decision maker, we need to understand how to, number one, dig data, how to analyze data, but most importantly, how to communicate data. I'm very proud to share with you, like for instance, at our Singapore campus, we have a very popular training topic. It calls data analytics and storytelling. Why storytelling? Because there's so much data floating around in the world. The way how we can grab the data and make use of it and share the information, share your analysis to your audience, to your team, to your leaders, is the storytelling. So that is the soft skill part of analyzing data. It is essential for the new business leaders in the world. Okay, this is just an example of one of the skills gap that we have observed. Sustainability or sustainable practices, for instance, environmental management for the people from catering companies or from F&Bs, sustainable supply chain management, okay? Carbon footprint reduction for all these topics are very necessary and in need, because especially for the large corporations, it is evaluated, in the listed companies. What is your carbon footprint reduction, right? Another example about marketing and digital engagement. Many leaders we have observed that they know the importance of influencer marketing. They know the importance of social media strategy, but do you have one? And do you understand it? And how you can benefit from them? So there are many up-to-date knowledges up-to-date practices that need to be shared, need to be grasped, need to be refreshed in our nowadays leadership. Okay. So just now was more for management, was more for leaders. This one, for us, it represents, I would say, 85% of education today. Because it is for operational teams, it is for the students in hospitality majors. It is even for the people who are interested in hospitality. Maybe they have nothing to do in their previous educations, their work experience in education. If they want to join our lovely industry, they need to equip with all this. And this is the gap that we have observed. For instance, customer service skills, I keep hearing not only in Vietnam, in Indonesia, even in Singapore, the communications, right? The mentality, the mindset of service, right? The active listening, the time management, working under stress. So all these are the essential quality, are the essential skills that employers are expecting their workforce to have those in order to deliver excellent services, in order to ensure the operational efficiency. Okay? And how we, our lovely guests sitting here and educators, professionals, industries, leaders, that how we can work together to reshape this industry, the industry that actually influences millions of people, right? How we can better prepare our workforce, our students, our leaders for what is to come. And EHL actually identified many trends in hospitality education and training. We have too many trends. Here we just list the top 5, the key trends that we want to share for this session. And I will go one by one. Digital learning, it is already become almost like a commodity in today's world in education, right? It was not like this, let's see, before COVID. And COVID is accelerator for the digital learning, online learning. And what is the good about online learning? Why it is so trendy, why it is so well accepted by the market, no matter from advanced economists or from less privileged families? Because it is very accessible, right? And it also a very fragmented learning. So each individual can have their own learning pace. So they can manage their learning by themselves. It also actually brings the top of the brains of different industries right in front of your screen, which is never happened before. So it is sometimes for some people called disruptive innovation in a way for traditional education institutes. But what is challenging for online learning, still for our business, is the operational part, right? You cannot learn how to make a cocktail or how to cook your crème brûlée by watching a video. So what is more practical for us in hospitality education and training is more for blended learning. So the blended learning actually brings and optimize the learning journey. Together with online learnings, with self-paced learnings, with the tailor-made designed learnings, plus the face-to-face engagement with your faculties, with professors, with your teammates. Another trend is experiential and immersive learning. In the large context of this trend, in my opinion, I would say the Swiss hospitality education for immersive learning is already a tradition. But for most of fast-moving or fast-growing economy in the world, they are embracing this model. Why is it? Take an example of EHL or any other, most of other Swiss hotel schools. Students live on campus, okay? So they live in a way that they live like a hotelier, and they act like a guest, and they work like a professional in the hospitality environment. So they can embrace the culture. They can feel the value of hospitality. They can, nurture the habit of being a professional hotelier in their early ages. This is what we call immersive learning and experiential learning as well. As a plus, if we want to add in one more element or one more force for the experiential learning, is the apprenticeship model, so that it's not purely taken care by the education body or taken care of by the school or training center. The training center or the school need to work with the industry of the city or of the region. So there are selected hotels, selected catering companies that in a designed learning approach, the students will learn the basics, the foundational knowledges at the school, and then they go to work on weekly basis or on monthly basis. And this is also very matured in, I would say, the German-speaking area of the world. So the Swiss, the German, the Austrian, they are known for their apprenticeship model. And what is also unique about this model is the inclusivity. Traditionally, if you talk about education, it's very academia, and you need to follow the track. But for this, it actually opens and broadens the student pool. So the student can be from schools, and they also can come from the industries to join this journey. And it is very practical and real-life-oriented learning. The third trend is about global competencies and cross-cultural agility. What does it mean? What industry are we in? We are in the hospitality industry, right? We need to deal with clients from everywhere. We need to service them. We need to work with people from different countries. EHL is 131 years old, and only recently EHL decided to invest a new campus in Asia. 100% for the purpose of this, to bring the Asia touch, to expand the horizon of perception for the European student, or for the students who actually was based in Lausanne, Switzerland, to come to Asia, to learn about Asia, to understand the business practice here, right? This is all about global competencies. And what is interesting that EHL did not expect is, since we set up a campus in Singapore, there are many European top business schools are contacting EHL, want to work with EHL to bring their students to our Singapore campus for a summer program, for a one-week program. Some of them are actually more serious about the credit-bearing transfer. They come to Singapore for one semester. And the schools I'm talking about is the top business schools in the world. So every school are trying to be competitive in terms of this trend. They want to bring the global competencies to their own students, be it in Asia, be it in America, in South America. So that's the network that each competitive school are trying to build. Actually, EHL has also 12 certified schools in the world across all different continents. So we certify those schools. They are bachelor degree programs, and the students can move around within our ecosystem. On top of that, we have about 23 or 28 vocational centers. It's the same purpose, to promote hospitality education across the world. Another trend is about lifelong learning pathways and micro-credentials. Micro-credentials is a new trend. And we have observed this trend even before COVID. And you can see the peak during the COVID and then after the COVID. More and more, especially for professionals, for business leaders, for managers, they want to keep updated, right? There are many specialized expertise that they did not have it 10 years ago. So they want to learn. They want to refresh their skills. And micro-credentials, it is designed for this way. And many schools, traditionally, it was, for our industry, maybe it's 𝐸L or Harvard Business School. They have some short programs. EHL also offer online and offline tailor-made and short programs. But these days, more and more individuals and regional schools are also in this platform. They provide short trainings, online and offline, to promote micro-credentials. And for lifelong learning, you can see the background of this, this picture. It's from Harvard Business School. You see a lot of gray hair. That's what we say lifelong learning. So all the executive leaders are eager to learn. You cannot imagine how many people are actually contacting EHL. They are CEOs of the world. They want to come to learn by themselves and also send their top leaders from their organization to follow EHL executive programs. And this word I really like is, the soft skills are now becoming the hard skills. But talk about executive education as a trend, it is not like the past that only happening in the classroom. There are many, many different ways and creative ways to work around small groups. Actually, in Singapore, I'm working with top luxury brands on luxury management and experience by culinary setting. Okay, with 𝐿𝐼𝐸, with Louis Vuitton, with AWC. What is interesting is the leaders today, they are not expecting only the knowledge transferring, but also creating knowledge or creating experience and engaging with other leaders in the room. And we actually are launch a very Swiss executive education for the bankers. We call it leadships. It's not leaderships. It's called leadships. In the mountains, the ships. We are creating a leadership team building program for them, for the private bankers in Switzerland, to organize a hackathon for them, to lead the ships and to do the team building together, which is a very interesting program. Last but not the least, everything about ESG, about equability and sustainability-focused education. It is a big topic. At Singapore, we have a doctor, a professor, specialized in this, helping the Singapore Tourism Board for sustainability-related topics, for many, many different companies. And this is becoming a hot topic today because not many companies really understand, what is expectation, especially for business leaders when they talk about carbon footprint reductions, net zero, talking about inclusivity, talking about energy, overall energy saving initiatives. It is very specialized, but this is essential knowledge now for business leaders to learn. Not only for business leaders, actually at EHL ourselves on campus, we have a lot of practices to engage our students together for this approach and initiative. Okay? So this is actually the 5 trends that I would like to share with you. And also, as EHL, we want to be ahead of the game. We want to lead the trend rather than behind the trend. So we actually offer a lot of B2B business solutions on educational solutions that notably there are 3 types. One is EHL certification, I just mentioned. It is for bachelor degrees across the world. And the other one is we call VET by EHL, is vocational and skills training. And both of them are actually very matured business solutions that EHL promote and design and master the contents of it. So there are some footprints that I want to show you about. This is actually the 12 certified schools across the world that associated with EHL. There are also about 28 licensed VT centers across the world. Okay? If you are interested, you can actually, after the session, you can reach out to me. For executive education, which is the last slides, what EHL is differentiated from the other mainstream business school is we are a human-centric focused business school. So all our training courses relates to, the human touch, human centricity, and we promote the human centricity learnings across different industries. And the QR code is actually what we offer from EHL Singapore offices. Okay. Thank you. This is actually the last slide. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me after the session. Thank you very much.